stay out of the water.
A fisherman missing for nearly 2 weeks was found alive off the coast of Washington State.
I can see the guy waving his paddle around in there.
Okay, can I get you an egg, please? Tim Shaddock.
A fisherman in the Northern Territory says he's happy to be alive after being shaken awake by a monster crab.
An incredible and rare video of a giant Pacific octopus is going viral on social media.
You're kidding! That is so huge!
Well, this next bloke was...
Did she say that's so cute? Yeah, cute and deadly.
Very nearly dinner.
It's cool. Good cook.
We don't know what happened next, but it's unbelievable.
One of the best parts of fishing is oftentimes the things that happen on the water that you didn't expect.
Oh my God!
Seeing bizarre wildlife, unexpected catches, and of course the oddball things you least expect. It seems as though everything under the sun has ended up on somebody's line. So let's dive in and see what these fishermen captured that no one was supposed to see. During a fishing expedition, these fishermen encountered an intriguing discovery, something they had never seen before. In the remote waters of Talibu Island, these anglers found something floating near their boat. The bizarre white foamy mass was quite stiff as one of the men cut into it. But the question is what it was and how it ended up there. Something hinted that the mysterious remnants belonged to a whale's upset stomach, like it was whale's vomit. Crazy, right? Well, it might be crazy to you, but it's just a normal day in the life of a fisherman. Fishing net caught whale. These fishermen were out in the ocean doing their thing when suddenly a colossal surprise landed in their net. A huge whale accidentally got into the trawl trap. Wanting to end its suffering, they decided to set this ocean giant free.
And y'all wonder why whales and sharks and different things be mad at us. This is part of the reason.
They hooked up the whale to a crane, flipped it upside down, and got it ready to head back into the deep waters. As soon as the net was cleared out of the way, the whale took the plunge back home, cheering up everyone on the scene. Unidentified carcass. Imagine you're strolling along the quiet beach at night, and suddenly you stumble upon something that sends shivers down your spine. A group of adventurers in the Philippines had this exact spooky moment. They stumbled upon this enormous, eerie carcass while it was chilling in the water along the shore. People tried to inspect, but nobody had a clue where it came from or how it ended up there. It was like a riddle no one could solve. The locals called it the unidentified object that appeared out of nowhere, and its identity remained a mystery. Mystic Grouper Saga.
Oh my gosh! 2 huge Mystic Grouper, baby!
These men, geared with their fishing equipment, were all set to make an incredible catch out in the open sea. The possibilities were endless when something huge grabbed their line. They thought it might be a big grouper, but it turned out to be 2 enormous mystic groupers.
2 huge Mystic Grouper, baby! Oh, 2 of them!
They were so big that everyone on the boat was amazed. But that wasn't the end of their adventure. When they went even deeper, they caught something even more unbelievable. A massive creature, a gigantic grouper, unlike anything they'd ever seen.
That's a giant!
Oh my gosh!
Nice!
What a freaking beast, guys!
It was like discovering a sea monster. The giant had another fish inside its mouth, indicating it was feeding, but now ended up on their dinner table.
He was feeding on something down there.
Oh well.
And now he's on our dinner table.
It was probably their biggest, most amazing catch.
Ooh.
Catching grouper isn't very common. Here's another group of eager anglers set out to conquer the seas. Their target was clear, the elusive Goliath grouper, a legendary behemoth lurking below. With precision and patience, they lured the grouper toward their boat. The grouper eventually took the bait, triggering a tug of war. After a mighty struggle, they successfully hoisted the magnificent grouper aboard. Admiring the huge creature, they released it back into the depths with a story of an epic encounter and the boundless wonders of the sea.
Why was he doing that by hand? I've seen people do that with like gators and stuff like that, and they always talk about, bro, you got to watch that line. You know what I mean? And I imagine a grouper is strong, but not as strong as a gator, but still in all, like, why would you risk it instead of not just getting like put it on a pole with a tough enough line? Why do it with your hands though? Why risk it?
Giant albino catfish. Venturing on a fishing escapade, this guy landed the catch of a lifetime. Feeling a tug on the line, he wanted to haul in whatever hefty creature was hooked. When he got a glimpse of the fish, he was shocked. It wasn't your run-of-the-mill catfish. This one was a real shocker. Its ghostly pale appearance hinted at something extraordinary: albinism. A rare condition leaving it with an otherworldly hue. At a colossal 2.4 meters long, it was like reeling in an 8-foot human. But this stunning appearance came with a downside. The fish's pale color made it an easy target for predators lurking in the depths. The angler chose to release it back into the waters. This catfish quite literally catfished and left the angler with a tale to tell. Great white caught. A few years back, a fishing crew near Rhode Island made an unexpected catch: a 6-foot-long great white shark. One of the crew members filmed the entire commotion.
Great white shark. Caught right off Musquamaket.
Now, here's the crazy part. In their 20 years of fishing, the crew had never seen anything like this.
Why did it look like that shark was cut in half? Like it didn't have no bottom part to it? It wasn't until he started moving his tail.
Must have been trapped with their usual catch. They hustled to get the shark back in the water fast. They used a makeshift crane to hoist it up by the tail and safely released it back into the sea. After the fish was in the water, they watched the shark splash around before swimming away.
I see white.
Quite an adventure for everyone. Hammerhead shark. In Corpus Christi, one of the members of a fishing crew felt a strong pull. They reeled it in, not knowing what awaited. On the other end of the line, there was a massive hammerhead shark. The incredible catch made headlines worldwide.
Local fishermen landed a massive great hammerhead shark over the weekend.
As the surreal creature was about 14 feet long and over 1,000 pounds. They tried to release the shark back into the water, but the weak animal couldn't make it. And sadly, their efforts weren't fruitful, as it shortly passed away. Gator encounter.
Coming around, coming around.
Excited for his kayaking expedition.
Y'all gonna get enough with these little kayaks in this water, man. He could have just pushed you over. At that time, you dinner. You dinner for him.
This guy set off, unaware of the adventure ahead. At first, everything was peaceful, the landscape serene. But in the distance, a disturbance in the water caught his eye.
He big too, bro. Oh, he mad.
What a big, huge.
Zooming in with his camera, he spotted a colossal alligator. Ignoring the warning signs, he continued paddling. Then, a thunderous splash interrupted the calm, and the giant alligator surged toward his boat.
Coming around, coming around.
The video abruptly cut off, leaving the spooky encounter a suspenseful mystery. Bizarre fish.
Did they survive? I need to know. Does anybody know? Did they survive that?
In the waters of northwest Russia, a fisherman discovers some really strange sea creature. Working on a fishing boat, he found this creature that looked like it was a character from a Tim Burton movie. He called his catch a big-eyed Marcorius. It was a rat-tailed fish with a big head, huge eyes, and sharp teeth. The bizarre fish lived incredibly deep underwater, between 660 and 9,800 feet down in the Atlantic Ocean. Fish gang. It's not a small fish group ganging up on a bigger trawl, but what you are seeing right now are tiny fingerlings trying to protect their mama from fishermen. It's not an attack. It's their way of trying to scare off the fishermen. These tiny fish called snakehead fry are the babies of the big fish. So instead of swimming away, these little red fries zoom in, surrounding their mom. So what seemed like a fish showdown is a touching tale of families sticking together even in the deep waters. Thresher shark. While on their routine work at Crane Beach in Massachusetts, people found something unexpected. A thresher shark washed up on the shore. It seems it got stuck when looking for fish during low tide, as this shark usually keeps to itself and doesn't bother beach visitors. Even though it's sad for the shark, finding the shark turned out to be a hidden treasure, a unique creature that showed us a different side of the sea. It reminds us that even in familiar places, there's always something new and surprising waiting to be discovered.
True.
Surprise sea lion.
О, здоровый, жирненький какой!
This bunch of Russian fishermen thought they hit the jackpot with their huge catch of fish. But surprisingly, there was more than just fish in their net. As they worked on their nets, they found themselves grappling with something far larger and heavier than their usual catch. A hungry sea lion had accidentally got tangled up while looking for dinner, making it quite an unexpected.
Now, how do you get him off the boat? The shark, I get it. You go behind him, he ain't really moving because he's gasping for air. He's trying to survive, so you can wrap his tail up. This joker here is looking like, what? Now what? What do you think you finna do?
Discovery. Despite the sea lion's size and weight, the fishermen seemed concerned about its well-being and decided on how to handle the situation. They soon ended their unexpected encounter with the sea lion by releasing it back to the depths of the water.
They didn't release it. He chose to leave.
Croc shock. Some Indian fishermen set their nets for the day's catch. You might be thinking, what's new? Well, this time, amongst the wriggling fish, they found that they had caught a real aquatic monster amid their usual haul. A crocodile was tangled in their net. One of them took it upon himself and caught the croc with his bare hands and let it go back to its habitat. With a flick of its tail, the crocodile disappeared back into the river. Frozen.
He didn't even move when he threw him in the water like the Clark wouldn't come back and try to bite him or something. I understand it's a baby, but I don't care. Like, he just was just calm and cool about it. Just threw him in the water and didn't move at all.
Then fish. A man fishing on a frozen lake stumbled upon something incredibly rare. A sight so unique that he felt compelled to share it on social media. The guy and his friends were fishing on about 6 inches of ice, hoping for rainbow trout and perch. But instead of their target, they found a fish frozen within the ice, visible just below the surface. So they decided to get it out. One of the guys started carefully chipping away at the ice around the trapped fish, creating a block to free it. As they continued, they found a full-grown trout seemingly caught in the act of eating another fish. The friends speculated that the trout might have attempted to eat a fish that was too big, resulting in this unexpected frozen moment.
Wow.
Gator reeled in.
Oh boy, that's not a stingray.
Out on the calm waters, a fisherman felt a tug on his line and assumed he had snagged a stingray.
I think I got me a stingray.
Brimming with anticipation, he began the challenge of reeling it in. But surprise, surprise, what he thought was a stingray turned out to be an alligator. Yes, an alligator on the end of his line. Can you imagine the shock?
Oh boy, that's not a stingray.
The gator splashed and disappeared underwater, only to come up as the hook was still stuck. Caught off guard by this unexpected twist, he couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of the situation and called out for help.
Surprise, surprise.
What would you do if your catch of the day turned out to have a few more teeth than expected? Whale shark. A couple years back, residents from Malacca were left baffled when something strange occurred at the common fishing spot of the town. A giant whale shark had somehow wound up at the shore. The endangered species was estimated to weigh around 1.5 tons. A huge crowd had gathered to witness the unusual event. Some of the men kept putting water onto the animal to help keep it alive.
You must take all of them to push him back in. That whole crowd.
Be thinking how it ended up there. Well, this big fish unfortunately got caught up during fishing. Fishing department officials were rushed to the scene and led efforts to guide the whale shark back to safe waters. Such incidents indicate how we need to look out for these marine animals. Oarfish. Off the coast of Toyama in Japan, a group of fishermen had a surprising day. They were out hunting for squid, when unexpectedly, they stumbled upon something far bigger. Inspecting their catch, they found not just one, but two incredible oarfish. One of the fishermen quickly grabbed his camera to capture these majestic creatures. What made it even more astonishing was that oarfish usually dwell way deep down in the ocean, between 200 to 1,000 meters. But these two decided to take a detour and found themselves tangled up in the fishing net. But there's something even more fascinating. Local Japanese folks say that spotting an oarfish means there's going to be loads of fish to catch. Talk about a good omen. With that belief in mind,
I'm thinking something else. What could this possibly mean? This isn't the first time we've seen somebody in their catching oarfish. Why are they coming up from the depths all of a sudden? Why now?
the fishermen made sure these unusual visitors were carefully released back into their deep sea home. Whale sucks fish. Deep in the vast waters of Indonesia, a magnificent sight unfolded, leaving everyone astounded. The whale sharks usually glide through the waters, their enormous mouths wide open, ready to sift through the ocean's buffet. But on this good day, something else caught their attention: the glimmering nets cast by fishermen. The whale shark approached the nets, and with a swift movement, they started to vacuum the fish in the net. The fishermen were surprised by this unexpected visit, and the whale shark left with its belly full from the feast. It's their definition of an easy dinner. Humpback whale. It might look like these fishermen have captured this huge whale, but it's something far more complicated. Back in 2012, a humpback whale got stuck in a fishing net in Japan, where they have always been causing trouble all across the country, trapping dolphins and other whales and leaving them stuck and helpless. Believe it or not, such occurrences are more common than you think. But don't worry, my friends, there's this amazing team called the Dolphin Project, who have been at the front line since 2003. And are working to free those who accidentally get in trouble with these nets. Let's hope they succeed in their mission and save more marine animals. We've got more of these giants who got stuck in the fishing nets and if they were rescued or not. Slithery encounter.
Sucuri deu uma encalhada aí.
You know the old saying, wait 30 minutes after eating before you go for a swim? Yeah, looks like this snake missed that. This giant anaconda caught the eye of an officer after it was found caught up in the branches with a huge bulge in its belly, probably from its hefty meal. Now, many might be scared away from helping a snake, but not this guy. He knew straight away what to do and began helping the 5-meter-long entangled serpent. It's unclear what the anaconda snacked on, as they are more than capable of swallowing a whole prey. Maybe a capybara. What do you think? Here's another guy out for fishing and was surprised to see a massive anaconda resting in the water.
Abraço, gurizada. Do Rubão ao Pescador!
With a noticeable swell in its midsection, the slithery snake seemed to be completely disregarding the presence of the man. Bothering a swollen fella like this is not a good idea. So instead of annoying the hefty reptile, this man decided to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Giant.
Tell how his neck was curled back. He was in ready position.
Squid. Fishing is a very uncertain labor. You go in blind, not knowing what you'll get. Just like this Indonesian crew hit the jackpot when 2 enormous squids were caught in their nets. Here's this man hauling them onto the boat. These colossal creatures were a sight to behold. A double surprise of sea giants in the midst of their fishing expedition. Here's another massive squid that was reeled in by some fishermen in western Japan. This 11 feet long squid was accidentally snagged while they were fishing for flatfish and crabs along the coast. Experts were surprised by the catch, as these huge ones usually don't get caught in regular fishing nets, so this was a big deal. The marine biologists kept it around for research purposes, as for them, this unique specimen could provide useful insights to mysterious marine life. Entangled marine mammals. 3 years back in the Tyrrhenian Sea, a huge whale struck an unfortunate event. Furry, the female sperm whale, got tangled up in an old fishing net near Sicily's Alaean Island and was unable to use its tail for swimming. But it wasn't left helpless. The Italian Coast Guard went on a mission to help the gentle giant. The whale was struggling and it was a risky operation, but they did everything to help the whale get back to the ocean where it belonged. Another incident happened in Indonesia where 4 whale sharks got tangled in a fishing net, but some brave divers came to the rescue. They carefully worked to free the marine mammals from a big net. 2 sharks managed to wiggle out easily, but the other 2 needed extra help. Working together, the divers pulled down the net and nudged the remaining sharks to help them swim away. These sharks must be grateful that they stuck around to swim with their saviors afterwards. If the huge ones get so easily stuck, then you must be wondering about the little ones. So here we go. A baby whale found itself knotted in fishing nets near an Australian shore. Marine rescuers quickly sprung into action to free the baby whale. The calf, after getting free, swiftly swam towards its mother, who was anxiously swimming beneath it. These situations occur mostly during the migration period of these marine animals, so experts advise avoiding using fishing nets during that season.
Again, this is why they hate us.
Epic fish trail. You're probably thinking, what is happening here? Fish after fish after fish! This strange sight was captured last year when a group of anglers was unloading their catch from their long trawling trip, making a crazy long line of hefty tuna fish. They have built-in freezers in their vessel to keep the fish fresh during their long journey. A mega crane hoisted them up from the ice and it looked like they were touching the sky. Now they'll be processed, and before you know it, they'll be on your plate, from the sea to the docks and straight to your dinner. Marine animals on board. When humans take up on a boating trip, coming face to face with marine giants isn't very uncommon. Here are some gigantic fish that ended up on boats, and onlookers were quick enough to get it on camera, like this one from Mexico, where tourists were enjoying the sight of dolphins on a boat. The remarkable creatures were splashing and leaping, making a show for the tourists. But then, one daring dolphin jumped to the tourist boat. Everyone was amazed and shocked to see the gentle giant up close.
Nah, he saw something he liked or smelled something he liked. He just dove for it. He went for it.
Dolphins struggled to get back into the water. The guides quickly stepped in to help. They calmed the dolphin and safely returned it to the ocean. While the tourists watched, shaken by the unexpected adventure. This wasn't the only occurrence. Here's another group of friends who embarked on a fishing adventure. Suddenly, something extraordinary happened. A dolphin leaped out of the water and landed right onto their boat. It might have mistakenly ended up on the boat and seemed to need assistance to dive back into the water, distressed and struggling for life.
Dan! Need some help over here.
Thankfully, the group, instead of panicking, decided to help the poor animal and put it back where it belonged. The unexpected and thrilling encounter undoubtedly made their fishing trip unforgettable.
See, in both instances, it was a woman nearby. Maybe it's something y'all women are wearing, perfume, maybe these dolphins are in heat. I don't know.
Fishing isn't always about having the best equipment, it's also about finding the best possible spot. You never know how big of a fish you will catch. Like these trawlers who found a whale on their hands. It probably caught into their net, creating a panic among the people on board. But they were quick on their heels and started the rescue of getting the giant back into the water. Bug-eye fish.
That's called a pomfret? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
While fishing, landing a larger catch isn't guaranteed every time. Occasionally, you might encounter the oddest fish as well. Just like this group of friends who stumbled upon something so incredible that it became the catch of a lifetime for them. They dropped their line way down that suddenly jolted. Excited, they pulled it up and found a pomfret fish. Its huge body and big bulging eyes amazed them.
That's called a pomfret? Yeah. Bro, look at his eyes! Look at his eyes! Why is his eyes popping out of his head?
As they were on a catch and cook trip, they decided to take the fish with them and cook it. After having their first taste, it felt like they had the coolest adventure ever, right there at their dinner table. Minke whale. When asked about Japan, words like technology and anime come to mind, but recently they are known for something else entirely. Some Japanese fishermen managed to capture a minke whale in Taji. The whale, caught up in the nets, was initially thought to have succumbed to natural causes, but in reality, this was a part of the routine of these fishermen. Animal rights advocates were swift in their approach to condemn and urge the Japanese government to take proper action against such practices. Half fish. Fishermen in Connecticut and Florida faced a strange problem when the fish they caught were missing parts. Imagine expecting a big fish only to reel in half of it.
I had another fish that would have been 45 inches, but about a foot was cut off the back end by a shark.
A seasoned fisherman experienced the frustration firsthand when the red snappers and bass he caught came up.
What are they frustrated for? That's part of the game. That's part of the game. You should expect that, you know? Like, these sharks ain't gonna just keep letting y'all take their food. No, they're gonna bite it first and leave you the leftovers.
Incomplete. Investigations revealed that sharks and porpoises are the ones causing chaos by taking bites out of the catch. Why? Experts say it's the migration of sharks, especially moms giving birth in these waters. So if you ever encounter a shark while fishing, the advice is simple. Cut the line and let it go. Fishing shouldn't turn into a tug of war with sharks. Fish wave. In Japan, something puzzling happened. Around 1,200 tons of fish ended up washing ashore on a beach, leaving local officials scratching their heads.
I don't think this much has ever washed up before.
Off the coast of Hugdaki, sardines and mackerel appeared in such vast quantities that they covered over 0.6 miles. The sheer volume of fish left everyone wondering how and why it happened. Experts mentioned various factors. Depleted oxygen levels being one of them caused the disaster. But plans for monitored human waste dumped into water bodies and reduced water withdrawal are in the works to prevent future instances. Giant Pacific octopus.
You're kidding! That is so huge!
A fishing trip off Vancouver Island turned into a wild adventure when something unusual latched onto a crab trap. It wasn't just a heavy load of prawns. As the anglers had expected, it turned out to be an enormous octopus. People on board couldn't believe their eyes. At first, they thought it was just a super full trap, but as it surfaced, they realized it was a massive sea creature.
An incredible and rare video of a giant Pacific octopus is going viral on social media.
People who love everything about oceans, this unexpected encounter would have them over the moon. A fisherman filmed the incredible sight and shared it on social media.
You're kidding! That is so huge!
The video quickly went viral, with millions of people marveling at the astonishing moment. It provided a glimpse into the wonders of the ocean that left everyone in awe. Monster sturgeon. Excited for his fishing trip to the Clear Creek, this man wasn't prepared when he caught a giant aquatic creature.
We have the possibility today of sturgeon, trout, bass, or carp. Should be great. I'm very excited.
With the possibility of encountering sturgeon, trout, bass, or carp, he eagerly threw his line in the water, but he couldn't believe his eyes when suddenly a massive sturgeon emerged. An amazing sight that shocked him. Despite his preparedness, he narrowly missed the sturgeon's strike at first, But the near encounter only fueled his determination. The sturgeon resurfaced, and this time he finally caught it. With him aggressively thrashing, the fish sure gave him a hard time.
No! Got it! I got it!
Exhausted yet thrilled, he flipped it upside down and marveled at the record-breaking catch he had managed to secure. Not wanting to harm the aquatic giant, he released it back into the water and took away a day filled with challenges, triumphs, and the sheer thrill of the chase.
No!
Biggest.
Y'all are bold to be jumping in just murky water with these fish, bro, like nothing else ain't in that water. Y'all are bold.
Shark. Off the coast of Karachi, Pakistan, fishermen made an incredible discovery, a gigantic 36-foot whale shark. Weighing a staggering 15,000 pounds, this mammoth creature had succumbed to the harsh sea and was left floating in the waters. A passing fishing trawler spotted the immense shark and alerted local fishermen. With immense teamwork and the help of 2 cranes, they managed to lift the colossal animal from the water onto the harbor.
Jeez.
This astonishing find grabbed the attention of the community and experts. It's not common to find such a massive sea creature near the harbor, sparking curiosity and concern. This event not only amazed locals, but also provided a chance for scientists to learn more of the reasons behind the sad fate of this magnificent sea giant. Open discussion. This picture might give you the impression that these folks have discovered some mysterious marine animal corpse, but the story behind it is far more historic. It was captured on August 13, 2018, when Raise the Arrow crew, an artifact recovery group, fished out the very first Avro Arrow relic from the depths of Lake Ontario. It had been down in the water for a whopping 64 years before it got pulled up and brought back to Trenton. Back in '54, they chucked 3 of these flying models into the lake to fine-tune the epic CF-105 Avro Arrow. But the crew ain't stopping there. They're still on a mission, diving back into Lake Ontario, hunting for the other 2 free-flight models. It's like a real-life scavenger hunt for pieces of this iconic flying machine.